Alright, everybody, welcome back to some more Sercacraft. It is I, Xilestar, and today a lot of things have happened off screen. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do everything that I wanted to do, but at least I got like all these shulker boxes gone, and I was able to also get the shulker boxes that I left in this lane over here done. But unfortunately, that recording of me actually doing that got corrupted. Hooray! So literally, I have to go back here and pretty much repeat what I said. So pretty much, anyway. So pretty much, these are all empty except for this little thing. Yeah, you can see the the remnants of that recording session, and over here as well. Over here, as you can see, these are all empty. Hooray for that. If and pretty much the only changes that I've done for this is that I added the disk fragment that you can get in the Deep Dark, I think, over here, and the Echo Shards, of course. So I added them here. These got named, and I think is there anything else as well? Oh, right, for colored items. For instance, these banners, they're still in this chest that is cheated. However, they will be done hopefully by the next time that I record, and again, all of this other stuff too. So I was also thinking of changing obsidian to be sort of like 2 rows of obsidian on the top and then crying obsidian on the bottom because they both pretty much function the same way. So I think crying obsidian creates a low light level and it also has like a particle effect, so it's a little bit better, but not by much. And I also moved the skulk over here and the Skull Catalyst because those are technically considered natural terrain. So I thought that would be more appropriate for those two. And if we go over to, I think it's building blocks, maybe. Did I move it to here? Or did I move something else in here? Oh, I found that I do have a gravel spot, unless I've already found that before. And I just forgot. Let's see here. Redstone, yeah. So redstone, I think I spent about 5 minutes trying to figure out if this is exactly where I want this stuff to be, like the skulk sensor. And I think the shrieker I have over here too. It took me about 3 to 5 minutes kind of thing to figure out if I really wanted it here, and I chose yes. So these are pretty much what activates the redstone signals, and these are like the end functions. Now, of course, like wooden doors, I gotta sort this into being like separate by doors, and the same thing with the wooden trapdoors, same idea. However, for wooden trapdoors, because this whole entire storage room was pretty much built in 1.12, there was only like one trapdoor, I think. So it's like there's not enough. I don't want to say not enough room, but there was like not enough storage options that would have fit this area. So I chose to have everything into dispensers, as you'll probably tell from the other storage, not the other storage room, but like other different storage options. So technically, this actually fits a lot better for it because it is all within one sort of storage. But anyway, yeah. Same thing with the fence gates. I think these are also non-sorted. Yep. And the shriekers obviously are sorted, but iron trap doors and iron doors, I've hardly ever collected them. Now, uh, yeah, there was nothing really too much sorted over here. There's nothing, yeah, because this is also an empty hallway with nothing. And one of the things that I did forget to do is I did forget to sort this out. So maybe we can do this while we're here kind of thing, or at least plan around where I want to put them. Because then at the very least, though, like this stuff will be put away. But before we do that, I wanted to talk about a few things that I've been doing off screen. So I wanted to get a lot more of this stuff done before I hit record. while I was recording this yesterday, I wasn't able to do this on my laptop when I was out and about for some odd reason, because while I don't play Minecraft from the official Minecraft launcher, I use a modded launcher. Mind you, the mod launcher also has a way you can play vanilla, but for some odd reason, this modded launcher prevents me from actually playing Minecraft without internet, which is very odd because it shouldn't do that. But anyway, so I was unable to do a lot more of the work that I wanted to do, like over the week while I had time to go and do it. Like I had time, but I was somewhere else, so I couldn't really be able to do it. But I was able to do a lot more stuff on my Oblivion mod, which is the other thing that I wanted to talk about as well while we are going to the other areas. So I have reorganized my mesh and textures folder to be where I want it to be, similar to how I think it's in Bethesda's Infinite Wisdom for theirs for how they sort their mesh and textures folder, is that they have inside of there, they have a special, well, not really special, but they have two individual folders called M and F, which is for the male models and the female models of the armor and for the textures themselves, if there is in need of any. So I just did that. I added that onto my meshes and textures, and now I'm in the process of testing everything and getting everything fully working for the first version of the new one. Anyway, so yeah, as you can see, these items are still here. I haven't been given a chance, or I haven't really given much of a chance to actually go do it. Yeah. And down here is something that I wanted to kind of show off too. So this is what I mean though. So like these barrels, and I think also these barrels over here, like pretty much most of these barrels were all this. They were all dispensers named Vault, and they were all like sort of centered like that because it would fit this area, which is supposed to be where like a mining ship was supposed to, like this was supposed to be a mining ship, so like a mining research ship pretty much. So it made sense for this to be here. And over down here, these will be removed at some point. I just have to find time to go do it now. So here's an idea that I was thinking of, and it just came to me while I was sorting out the seven shulkers. Was that I should probably make all of these into farming barrels, and same thing on the opposite side. The difference is that they would still have these on the surface of it. So like these will be back up to here, but I would have a way in which that you can release certain of these things, similar to like how a shutter system works for like shops and such, where you could bring a gate down kind of thing and it would prevent people from accessing your goods because your store is closed. Same thing with this, except for these will be closed. So though like you can keep them forever. And this could be where I could throw in all of the extra farming materials from here in case I don't want to throw all of them into these two areas, which I don't really want to do, but hey, if I need to do it that way, it's not that big of a deal. However, when this came to me, I was thinking of doing it down here. Like, I was thinking that it was going to be down here because that's where I was thinking. Maybe it still is. Maybe I can figure out a way to get this to work here, but for now, yeah, it's going to be up there. I don't know, maybe I'll recount here and figure out if it's actually going to work here better than up there. Who knows? Or maybe I'll still leave barrels up there, but they just won't do anything for now. But I just wanted to see what it would look like on one side. It looks really good, so I'm going to keep it that way. Anyway. So yeah, so hopefully I will have more than enough time later on in order to finally finish off Arcanix, because I really want to, so I can get back to mostly just getting back to actually finishing off the 1.21 base, which has been put off for about a month or two, I think, because of this whole Sercacraft / Oblivion mod crisis that I've been having pretty much with having no time, and then by the time I think I have enough time, it then gets ripped right from under me. So I moved the doors and the teleport signs over to here, of course. The thing is that I'm not going to place them down just yet. I want to wait until I can back up the server world just in case something bad happens. Or in which case, though, I figure out which one of these like goes towards. So I know like one sign has to go on this side of the wall kind of thing. And then this side is like the same thing. It's like I think it's on that wall too. So again, same idea though. Like I got to figure out which one's which. Well, I could do the teleport. As you'll be able to see, I did all the teleports. Like I could do all the teleports specifically just so that I can get all of this stuff done another way so I never need to worry about it again. Unfortunately, I would much rather do all that off screen, though, because we did so much of the work on screen that like and plus you've already seen it as well. While it wasn't on the server, it was still technically being shown. So I think you guys have already seen too much of that as well. So another thing that I was working on as well was a little bit in the alchemy area, and I accidentally broke something in here, but it'll be easy fix. So during the failed recording, I had to put some things away, not a lot of things, but some things away. And one of the things that I got rid of was a light block that's normally here. Now, I've been trying to think of if there's actually a better spot that I could put it so that will never happen again. And because you apparently cannot put a lever, which I have now know that I stashed it here. You cannot put a lever here and then it opens the door. I'm wondering why I can't do it that way. I thought that was a normal way you could do it. Is it because it's a stair block? Ah, it's a stair block, that's why. So yeah, so like this is my potion room, pretty much. My potion stores, pretty much. It's meant to look like it's just like a abandoned old closet area, pretty much. Even though it stores every potion that I've ever had collected and so on and so forth. And here's all the potion ingredients. Yep. So again, the only thing that needs to be worked is that farming area. I'll have to sort of relook at everything, figure out if I can actually do anything with it. I'll probably do the bottom part idea in a single player world and then seeing if that will actually work out to my advantage. I also found out that you can actually do this, which is interesting because I didn't realize that at the time of actually figuring that out. Anyway, but over here, same old thing. The only difference is that for the kitchen area, as you can see, like things actually need to be put into their place and actually be organized and whatever. And there's a bunch of raw food in here, I think, that I can cook, that I can easily just get it all done and over with. And same idea with a lot of this other stuff too. Yeah, all this stuff could be cooked, and then same idea with this. This stuff needs to also be sort of like in their own little like containers and named according to their containers. So yeah, let's go worry about that later though. The other thing is that this still isn't done, which I am going to be very angry about on my own time. But anyway, so this is where I have all of the, yeah, so here's all the music discs that came from the area down there. And I think one of them is one that I just haven't gotten a chance to actually move it around pretty much. But yeah, so all of this stuff, this one we can excuse because that's actually just meant so that we can easily access him. But I'm going to move this one over to there though. Just because. And That one's just empty music box, music disc box. That's just for me in creative mode in order to figure out in what order everything's supposed to be. And I think in here, yeah, we have music discs here. I think they're all organized based off of the music disc themselves. They just need to actually be able to go into their appropriate shulker over there. I think this one also is it too. Yeah, this one also has music discs. And that's it. Yep. Anyway, yeah, I don't think there's anything else that really needs to be talked about for this. So for one thing though that I've been trying to not hold off, but like something that I've been trying to figure out for my Oblivion mod is just like I've been trying to throw a lot of time at it, but each and every time I throw a lot of time on it, I know that like I know it's not I don't want to say it's an excuse, but like I've been trying to put more time into my other series like Sercacraft for instance, and not just Sercacraft, but like just Pokemon and such like that, and for some odd reason, I can never find the time for them. And it's very sad because, like, while I would love for these series to do just as good as, well, as the Oblivion one in terms of, like, my occupy time kind of thing, I just don't see the love in Minecraft nearly as much as I did when I first played Minecraft at, like, since, like, a long time ago. And it's very sad. And for Arcanix, like even like Rosaria base had like the same issue too, is that like I barely had enough energy to kind of work on it. And it kind of shows because of how much time and effort I took in order to shrink it down into a smaller size, but not only just to shrink it down to a smaller size, but to shrink it down to a smaller size and get it to be like to get it to look very pretty on the inside as well as the outside. Mind you, the outside, I can definitely tell you for a fact, is not like the greatest look for it. There's probably a way better block palette to use. But for me, you have to realize though that like the way that I build interiors, I think I've already showed this before. But this room is a big example of what I don't do. So this whole entire room would probably be making me go very crazy at the fact that like this doesn't look good. This doesn't look anywhere as good as I really want it. I would literally just go and strip all of this down and put it as one block. And if I maybe not the crystal lamps, but everything else, yes. Uh so this andesite, gray concrete, light gray concrete, and cobblestone and gravel texture that I have here, I'd be getting rid of it. I'd strip it, remove it, whatever. I get rid of it and throw it all as maybe cobblestone or gravel or something like that. Like I wouldn't even like propose this at all. Like I wouldn't even tell you though that like I would want to do it this way because this doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, and something else that I found out while well, it was technically before the failed recording was that I found out that this machine right here is broken. It doesn't work. So maybe we can see that if I don't type in the wrong thing. Let's see here if we can see it being a fail thing over here. Yeah, this is what I mean. I didn't show this last time, but I'm going to show it now because this will make it at least a little bit easier for me. Anyway, this is what this is what happened. Now, when I moved this to this world, this wasn't like this. But maybe it's a new thing with 1.12. I don't know. But technically, there is a way that I could do something about it. The only thing is that, like, yeah, maybe I made too many turns here. Maybe I could decrease it by 1 block and it'll be perfect. Anyway, yeah, so like all of this stuff is not supposed to be like this. So what my plan is that I'm going to go and fix this again. You can see that I've already tried to do at least a little bit of work over on this side, I think. Yeah, you can see like I broke these blocks here trying to fix it. I tried to see if I can do other things to get it fixed, and nothing really worked, so I decided to hold off on it. There's the cobblestone I was looking for last time. I was wondering where they went, because I was going to take them and have them smelted into these smelters kind of thing. And that's pretty much it, though, for that stuff. Like, I gotta go fix that. Before I moved it from 1.12 to 1.20, or even 1.19 even, they were working. So, I don't understand why they broke now. Maybe it's because of World Edit, maybe it's because of Amulet, who knows. Amongst those two, it broke. I have no idea how. Anyway, there's something else I wanted to mention too before I go back into talking about Oblivion, and we'll go journey outside just to go do stuff. And then next time I will come back and everything will be done. Hopefully. Hopefully I won't just spend it all and working on Oblivion, on the Oblivion mod. I just want to get it ready and done before the next session gets recorded, kind of thing. And the next session that needs to be recorded for the Oblivion mod playthrough is an Oblivion mod playthrough in a sense. So it's like I'm trying to get everything done before that version. So yeah. Is this open? Or no? No, it's not open. Okay, good. Welcome to Organic. See? There it is. I really wish though that there was it kind of works like a fence gate, or not a fence gate, like fences, where you can make the sign bigger by going like if you put 3 next to each other. That's the only thing I have a problem with, is that like you can't make it bigger. I think I already mentioned these walls now. Yeah, so this is still planned to be villagers. I might not do it with this version, but I might do it with another version. And something that I found out during the last recording was that there's these little pockets here that I did not know about. So I'm going to have to go and fill these in. As you can see, they're having nuisances in here. So yeah, so I'm going to go fill these in and get them all ready to go. And hopefully by the next session, we can start working on Lord Cube's whole task of everything here. So though when 1.21 rolls around, we'll be ready. Because right now, we're not ready. And while Minecraft keeps updating 1.20 to 1.20.1 to 1.20.2, we're not ready for 1.21. So like we're not ready to sort of end the series because it's already been like sort of established that 1.21 is being released, let's say tomorrow kind of situation. So should definitely go work on that. If you don't know what we need to do, we need to, I wonder if I move the book to the area like I was supposed to. I wonder if I did. And if I didn't, then okay. I know where a spot of where it is located, but I just don't know if I actually have it. Ah, yes, okay, so here it is. So yeah, so like Lord Cube has saved us and our items from that last world, but he was unable to save the vessel from the Skull by the cost of his powers and his physical form. So what we need to do is we need to help cleanse the vessel. All he needs is a netherite block from this world. The ones you have previously collected will not work for me to recover my strength. yeah, so because this is geared towards the entrance area, we won't see the block of which that our ship is located in of Skulk. Anyway, and I've already showed that like in the single player world, I've already sort of like that's how I moved everything, and it's already been stripped of the Skulk pretty much. But that's the version we're going to be getting back. But yeah, so we need to go to the Nether to get the Netherite block, and of course I made the challenge that we have to do it on screen. So I have to collect. How much is it? It's you need 4 per ingot or ingot, however you want to pronounce it, and we need 36 ancient debris. That's not too bad, but that's also not the greatest thing we want. Yeah, okay, let's go journey outside at the very least. And then I'll just teleport back off screen, and then we'll just go and journey in. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn it down a little bit. Oh. Yeah, so something that I wanted to mention is that, like, while I'm only going to be recording about 4 videos again, which is very unfortunate. However, we're going to be getting a big turnaround because of the fact that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has finally released their Teal Mask update. Before, well, actually, to be honest, I think the when I was recording last time, which was yesterday for Sercacraft, I was talking about how I hope that they didn't change. Uh, I was hoping that they wouldn't make us wait too long for like a day 2 kind of like patch. I don't need a stick. Anyway, like how they we shouldn't have needed to wait this long for a day 2 like patch kind of thing. But to be fair, this could have been like week 1 patch, done easy out of the way. But instead, they chose to make us waste our time and to do it anyway. And not to mention though that like I was mentioning though that we're almost close to like the halfway point, and there is no news of like the actual release date. And just as somebody ended up saying on a video that I was watching though, like literally right before I was recording this, there was no news of when they would release the update. The only thing that we got was the beginning of October. Well, if you are not as all knowing in terms of how dates work, we are now in the 12th of October as of recording. And because we're at the 12th of October, that's close to mid. It's close to the mid of October. While technically they are correct, they did say at the beginning of October. What they failed to account for is that we're in the middle of October now. Like, we're so close to it. We're closer to the middle of October than we are towards the beginning of October. Like, we are about, I think, like 4. I mean, depending on how you look at it, we're about like 3-4 days close to the middle of October than we are towards the beginning of October. And yet, like, for some odd reason, they think that we needed to wait this long for such a simple patch. Even if they were to just see, they had a bunch of other issues that they wanted to fix, which I completely understand. But when your players paid, I think for me it was like $30-$40, I think it was like $40 if I'm remembering my currency prices to American. Like $40 for this piece of software as an update kind of thing, or as a extra things. And then when I'm trying to enjoy it, and then there's this one issue that prevents me from enjoying that sort of title, then that's infuriating to me. It really is. It's really infuriating. And worst of all is that, like, not only am I infuriated at the fact that, like, you know, I can't enjoy this thing that I paid for with my hard-earned money, I I can't even enjoy, like, I can't even enjoy it. Like, how can I enjoy a game in which that, like, this one little tiny thing, this little tiny attention to detail kind of situation is missing? And I was infuriated, and I think I was going off a lot about the time and stuff like that. Well, not anymore, because because while I was gone, I was checking on Cerebi and trying to see if they would mention anything, and lo and behold, for today, they were talking about the 2.02, I think, update, and I was like, hooray! And then they were talking about the Japan, like a Japan thing, or it was like a Japan Twitter or something like that, or X or whatever. I don't really care anymore. Talking about it, I'm like, oh, don't tell me it got released in Japan, because then that means it might not have been released in North America, which is where I am from. So I'm like, great. But no, it's been released. I just checked literally right before I hit record on this. I literally just checked in my Switch. I flicked it up from the dock, and then it told me, hey, did you know that Scarlet and Violet had an update? We installed it for you. So, yeah, it's there. From what I've been told, it's not a big update. But they supposedly fixed the bug. So hopefully it is there, it is done, and we can get over it. Because I definitely really want to. So let me go and mention a few things of my mod for Oblivion while we're here, because while you guys won't be seeing it for a good little bit, I wanted to mention something for the Oblivion stuff before I either end up forgetting or before I end up changing my mind later on. Anyway, nice rubber banding, bro. Anyway, so for Minecraft Oblivion, yes, good job, brain. For Oblivion modded playthrough and mod playthrough, I wanted to have a more thematic, like mod, so close to Halloween kind of esque thing. While this mod will be recorded within Halloween time frame, so before Halloween, pretty much, it will not be uploaded before Halloween or during Halloween. Because the only way that I could get past this is if I record the Oblivion mod playthrough and upload the complete on Halloween, and then we excuse not a complete session, but like we excuse an upload on another date for the completes for this issue. Now, while I don't want to change anything because of a holiday or anything like that, there's only going to be 2 special videos that are ever going to be released on the channel. One is for the channel special, and the other is going to be for not just the channel special, but just for for New Year stuff. So those are going to be the only 2 instances. I could do one for my birthday, but I think that would be asking for too much. And because I want to keep that private for myself, so I'm not going to go do it. Anyway, so for the Oblivion mod, so for those 2 Oblivion series, while I will be doing a Halloween special technically, like I'll try and gear it towards Halloween, they will not be uploaded towards Halloween, as unfortunate as I would. No matter how much I would want it to be, like I could probably because I've already done the calculations. By the time we get to start the Halloween mod for the Oblivion modded playthrough, it would take about 42 days, and that's including if I don't upload any completes during that time frame. So that means like when a Saturday or Sunday rolls around, you're getting your normal videos rather than the full complete sessions and such like that. So if you don't get your complete sessions, hey, like you're gonna get it within 42 days, and I think that was calculated. I think a few days ago. I think that was calculated to make it so though. I think in November, I think it was like 13th or 14th. I think I can't remember. I can't remember the date that I tried it on. I might have to re-roll it again. But for instance, though, that those two dates, for instance, or yeah, so like for those time frame, that's when the Oblivion modded playthrough will start. That's not like the Oblivion mod playthrough. That's the modded playthrough. We'll start the Halloween mod. So sorry, I can't do a little bit of a theme thing, but we'll be doing something special for the because we technically finished two things. We finished the Shivering Isles DLC. Yes, that's finished. And not only that, we finished the we got to level 25 during the end of it. So that means we're allowed to have two mods. Now, while I usually do a mod, then we do a little break from mods kind of thing after that mod is done, and then we do another mod. I'm going to excuse this for once because I want to show off my plan for my mod in particular. Now, my mod's not gonna be the one that we're gonna be showing. I'm gonna be showing things that I don't want to say taking because it's not like I'm gonna be releasing it out to the public kind of thing. Like I'm not gonna be releasing my mod kind of scenario. I'm just gonna be releasing like only certain parts of my mod out to the people. So that's pretty much it. Come on. It's definitely nighttime by now. Come on, man. Thank you. There we go. So yeah, so another thing that I have to do is I have to do a lot of like a bunch of stuff for my Oblivion mod. Since I remapped all the meshes and textures and such like that, I have to also make sure that everything's full working order. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next couple days. I'm hoping though that the weekend that's coming up, I'll have at least more than enough time to work on Sercacraft within that time frame. If not, I will make time for Sercacraft because Sercacraft has gotten like the bottom of the barrel in the amount of time that I work on. It's gotten the bottom of the barrel of how much time I throw at it, and I apologize for that. I really am because, or I really do because because that's not fair to you guys. And that fact that like I love Minecraft. It's one of the best games in my opinion. Even though it's I don't want to say it's simple, but like the amount of stuff you can do with it is like astronomical, and what you can do with it in terms of just like playing vanilla, giving yourself special challenges, or just being able to just play it with friends, or being able to play it with mods. Doesn't really matter. However, I think it's about time that we kind of just start trying to finish off Sercacraft, get it ready to go, so that when 1.21 is around the corner, we will have a new base. I might not do all the interiors and stuff like that, but at least they'll get all the rooms all prepped up and ready to go. And yeah. But for but yeah, and not only that, we can get back to uploading Pixelmon again, because which I still have, I think, one session that still needs to be finished off on there. And as I said, though, while Sercacraft is out in full swing, the Pixelmon series is on hold. I haven't recorded that in like months now, and I've been holding it off, which is a very big shame because we should try and do like I should try and do my best to kind of finish off this series as much as possible, or have like a good endpoint, and then like so that we can continue with Pixelmon. Because, well, I'm not going to say that for Pixelmon, we don't have, like, I don't do anything off screen for it. But for Sercacraft, it seems like and it seems like the same thing happened with the Oblivion mod, is that, like, I felt so overburdened by something that I just abandoned it. And that's kind of like the thing that, like, I've been noticing a lot lately, is that, like, when a function or when a feature doesn't really fit what I want anymore, or when I get sick and tired of trying to bug fix it out, I just abandon it. I just go, yep, not worth my time anymore. This has happened a lot with Minecraft in terms of just building any kind of house or anything like that. Is that I'll start building it, then I'll go, you know what? It's not really what I imagined. I'm gonna leave. And then the same thing happens with the Oblivion stuff as well, though. The Oblivion stuff, it's like I'll start building something and then I'll start like mapping out a set or something like that, or I'll start like figuring something out and I go, wait a minute, that's not really there, and then I just get rid of it entirely. And one thing that actually has this in its the one thing that actually got the X pretty much, or got the life written out of it, was Sanctuary. I have written it out of my mod entirely. Now, I do have a version of it with Sanctuary, so it's not like I can't just add it back in later on. The only thing with Sanctuary is that, like, I've written it off, and because of the fact that I kept giving myself, I don't want to say anxiety, I kept giving myself pressure into trying to finish it when I didn't want to. And due to the fact of my stupidity or incompetence in doing it, I made it into a much bigger idea, or a much bigger pain in the butt to kind of deal with. And because of that, I just lost interest in it. I legitimately lost interest in wanting to work on something that I really wanted to work on beforehand. At first, I was happy about having Sanctuary attached to my mod, and now it's like I just abandoned it because it became too much of a hassle to deal with. And all I had to do, mind you, is uh change a few items in one room. In one room, mind you, have them all be uh remapped and AXM'd and moved to where the original vanilla locations are, so though they are no longer going to have any issues. And you know what I said to that? I said, nope, I'm done with this. And I completely deleted that entire area. That's literally what I did. I literally did that. And while I do feel bad at the fact that I did that, I actually feel a lot better though. Now, the items that were originally in Sanctuary that I still want to use, like the forge area and the whole, like, I almost said Elder Scrolls, the enchantment stones, and what was the other thing too? It was the enchantment stones, that, and there's something else too. I think that was it. Yeah, I think that was it. For those two items, and for those two, like, optional stuff too that I added them into a different area, so though they are more, not only just more freely accessible, but just able to be used more effectively towards what I wanted. So I was very happy at that fact. And not only that, not only just getting rid of Sanctuary, but it got rid of one thing off my list that was always so, I don't want to say boring, but was always such a huge thing that I kept putting off over and over again. I'm not even joking. For the past month, I have been telling myself that this weekend I'm going to work on Sanctuary, get it done and over with, so I'm done. The weekend comes by, I don't feel like doing it. For Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, during the week, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to crack down on Sanctuary, get it done this weekend, because I'll have my laptop out, and then we'll just get all the normal vanilla locations from the laptop, And then what I'll do is I'll just go on my recording computer, which is this one, and go and put them in go and put those locations into here, because apparently that one room apparently is the only one that has its locations actually what they're supposed to be. So it's perfect. However, each and every time I think of that, I get tired and bored, and then I'm like, you know what, I don't want to do it anymore. And then I go back and do something else. And I just kept getting sick and tired of procrastinating about it each and every time. Then I think it was last weekend, or was it 2 weeks ago? I can't remember. I literally sat down at this desk, looked at Sanctuary, and I was just about to start work, and then I stopped myself and I went to go work on other things. And then after that happened during the week, I'm like, you know what? I should get rid of Sanctuary, because it doesn't. Because this is what I do with mods, and not just with mods in general, but with the DLCs as well. Is what does that DLC or mod provide me to keep? For DLCs, it's like, what does this DLC give me as a as a as a as a buyer, pretty much, or as a customer? Like, what services does it provide me that I don't see in the original game? And same thing with mods, is like, what makes me want to keep this mod? Is it an item? Is it like, this legendary script that works perfectly fine and looks like it would be a really interesting thing to add? Like, what is this thing? Like, what is the thing that makes it so interesting? And that's what comes into my mind whenever I think of Oblivion mods. So when I go and look into like each and every different cell in my mod, what does the Lodge provide us? The Lodge provides us a main epicenter of every function in the mod. Like, okay, that makes sense. Okay, what does the ship provide us? A ship provide the ship part provides us with not only just a novelty area, but it provides us with an area in which that I can hide certain things, and that would make sense. You smuggle things on a ship. Perfectly fine analogy for that. So it fits that sort of purpose. Okay, so what does Sanctuary provide us? Hold the phone. What does Sanctuary provide us? It doesn't provide us with anything. Now, while there's actually 3 things that it does provide us, but it doesn't need to be in Sanctuary for that. And technically 4 if you want to count something else. But the first thing that it provides us is the forge area. I already fixed that. So, well, now I did, right? Because I got rid of Sanctuary, so I had to fix that, so I did. So, bye-bye forge area, so that's one thing off the list. That's one thing stricken from the records. What about option number 2, the enchantment stones? Well, the new forge area has them built into it. So it looks like that's been stricken from the records as well. Oops. So what about the third function, which is the birth sign remover, that removes the birth sign effects that the potions give you? Because I 0xm'd all of the birth sign effects, not all of them, but the ones that my potions use, so though they're not interfering with the vanilla ones. So this birth sign remover removes those kind of thing. Anyway, so while that's going on, is like, does like is this a reason to keep Sanctuary? No, because I can add it to the Lodge's basement. Now, will it be perfect? No. I'm thinking of changing the model that I had previously planned to something else, but I'm still keeping the functionality. And of course, option number 4, a place for companions and for other like NPCs kind of thing to sleep. while technically right now I do not have a place for that, later on I will. So while it is planned, it is not actually fully there as we speak. So again, what does Sanctuary provide us? Because the training, because in each and every different room, one provides a living quarters, which again doesn't make any sense for us because we have a house. So again, we can strict that from what we need. So we can delete that entire room now. Amazing. Okay, so what about the forge area? As I said, I already figured out how I can make that work in a different location. Boom, done. That area has been stricken out. The office area. Do I really need it? I have an office area in the lodge. Boom, done, stricken out of there. Now we just have the training room and the main hall. Do I need the training hall? Not really. Because again, there's nothing to occupy it. So bam, stricken from there again. Okay, so now what's left is the main hall, but I don't need a main hall to nowhere. So we can remove that again. And now we literally just found a way to systematically remove Sanctuary from my mod. Where I was doing everything in my power for 2 months procrastinating about like fixing a tiny little corner of the area to say, oh no, Sanctuary has a purpose. It has a purpose. I just literally just removed it within 5 minutes. Like, I completely de-escalated it from my own mind by listing off what it doesn't provide me, and I literally gasped at the fact that, like, I literally just added a cell into my mod that literally does nothing. Like, oh my god. I felt like so foolish in doing that I literally just stopped. Do I still have a version with Sanctuary? Yes. Can I add it back in? Of course I can. So in case I find something else, I can literally add it right back on in like nothing happened. But right now, that's not really my point. Like, that's not really like what I was trying to do in the first place. So yeah, so while I've been working on that, I've been working on other things as well. We're going to be getting the castle back into it. However, I'm going to be changing my idea of it. Sort of. It's more so that like we're only going to see it for the first ever videos of the Oblivion modded playthrough. But after like the first ever session or something like that of the new version, the castle will be technically removed. Mostly just be removed for construction purposes only. Just so that I can work on other things. And then while we are working on, I'm technically working on both. Well, I'm technically working on both the hideout, the lair, and the castle all at the same time. We're going to be slowly reintroducing those items slowly. So, like, let's say tomorrow I'll be working on the hideout. Yeah, like tomorrow I'll be working on the hideout just so though like it'll get done, and then next week it'll be lair, and then the week after that it'll be the castle, and then the week after that it'll be the area in which the castle stands on. Like, that's what I mean though, like between those three, that's how I want it done. While I want these three while I want these three areas to be finished, I'm not going to go and dive headfirst into just throwing it wherever I want. I want these areas to be perfect. Also, another thing that I did is that if you don't know, the island in which that I actually have everything being on uses rocks for the terrain rather than actually using the terrain itself. I found out that there are some rocks that I have been using that actually didn't need to be there. So wow, this could help with frame rate issues and such like that, because now there's no longer too many instances of these similar rocks there. Well, I also technically did add a few more, technically, just to help round off the island a little bit. In the end, I made the island much shorter in terms of how many rocks it uses, but I also made it bigger because in the physical location of each and every one of these rocks. Now, mind you, there is going to be, from what I remember, mind you, I have to actually do one of them. There are 3 rocks, I believe, that I need to script in. Not really script, but like pretty much give them the ability of being physically removed based upon certain things. I'm going to be doing my key hunt for the island because I think it would be kind of fun to do. So, while technically Sanctuary will be removed from this obvious point, but for what it was that in the beginning of what I was planning on doing was that I was going to make a treasure hunt uh, pretty much just to make the whole getting to certain areas much difficult. So like you couldn't access like the lair and hideout right when you leave the Imperial City sewers and go to Anvil. The only thing is that like in order for you to enter those areas now, you have to go and enter the lodge. The lodge gives you a key that makes you access one area. Then through that one area, you have to go to the other area, and then so on and so forth. Yeah. So the other thing that I've been also been trying to do, and right now I am sort of torn between, and maybe I'll talk more about it about like during the Oblivion series in general, was that I have currently been working on getting those set items that were from one of my original mods that I was working on. I've just been pushing myself in order to kind of get it to fully work for my mod, and I'm currently at the process of just finishing it off. Of course, if you don't remember what those are, back during early, I want to say 2019, 2020, give or take. I mean early 2020, like January kind of thing, not like during the time when I started the channel. When I started the channel, that's when I was working on the Dark King stuff. But anyway, so during that time, I made several sets that I showed during the first ever channel special during I think 2021 during the first anniversary of when I made that Oblivion video about it, showing off the different versions. I had one called Dramora's Overhaul. I had one called, I think it was Castle Trilesia, while somebody's being very loud outside and being very annoying. And I had, what was the other version? It was Castle Trilesia. Those were the 3 versions of the mods that I was, no, it was Castle Trilesia, then it was Battle Butler was the last one. Before I just adopted into the current version of whatever I was working on right now. And for that very reason, though, like, for those who don't know, the Castle Trilesia one has like a bunch of items that when you equip them, they function just like the Crusaders' relics, or if you equip them, they give you spells, pretty much. And if you unequip them or drop them, they remove those those same spells. Anyway, so for what I ended up doing is that I ended up changing my mod from that into having the Dark King's items, and then later on I wanted to make it into a bound spell, which ended up spiraling into our current version, pretty much, of just getting it to work perfectly fine, getting it to have cool functionalities. Anyway, so pretty much to bring it back on topic, I'm moving those items back in. The difference is that, like, a lot of the spells that these different sets have are identical to each other, but they have different editor IDs. So I know one of these uses the Drake Knight and Armor model, which I've named Drax, and another one uses the like a Lich King mod that makes you pretty much look like the Lich King from World of Warcraft, and technically Warcraft 3, I guess, in a way too, maybe. I don't know. So between like those two ones, I've just been sorry, I'm losing track of mine because there's something very loud outside, which is just throwing my brain to going like, "Can you shut up?" Pretty much. Anyway, yeah. So while those two sets are done, they both pretty much share the same amount of, like, they share a same spell, but the difference is that their spells have different IDs. So like, I think for the Lich Kings would be called, let's say, DMR Lich King's Boot Effect 1. But let's say that, actually, the best one to say is the Greaves, because the Greaves make sense. So I'll change it to Greaves. So the Greaves, for all of the armors, had the unlock very hard spell. So they could open up any lock pretty much that doesn't require a key. It's a very useful spell. Now, instead of making this into a system in which that all of them share this one spell, so it makes it easier on the ESP file, I decided to just keep expanding it over and over again. So each and every one of these characters' sets of Greaves had this unlock spell that you can access. Mind you, it was easy to make these duplicates, but why didn't I just make them shared? The reason why was because of one very crucial thing, was that I wanted to make sure that, like, if I wanted to edit the spell to fit, like, let's say this one set, so let's say for Drax's version of Unlock, I wanted it to heal him for like 20 points of health. It would only affect Drax's version rather than affecting everybody's version. But now I've changed that whole sort of thing. So now each and every one of them has to have now each and every one of them is going to have shared spells. But of course, since most of these spells were a part of the Dark King's armor before, now I'm in the boat of, do I want to get rid of the Dark King spells but have it so that, like, it works with this new whole system? Because if I do, that means I have to change the Dark King's armor and the Dragon Lord's armor. Now, mind you, the Dragon Lord's armor is going to be changed, maybe, to fit this new system. I'm thinking if I should change the Dark King's ones. Now, something that I was thinking of as well was that maybe I would change the Dark King's, like, spells to fit the new motif, but still keep them as, like, separate from the rest. So what I mean by that is that, like, the spells themselves pretty much display the name of the spell itself or display what the spell actually does. So instead of just saying, like, Dark King target spell 03, it'll say, it'll start with, well, I don't really say Dark King, I say DK for Dark King. So DK target unlock. So that tells you that it's a target spell. That also tells you that it's a unlock spell at the same time. So that's pretty much what I've been thinking of is like, do I want to change it to that? If I do, mind you, that is a lot of scripts that I have to change for to affect those kinds of changes. But would I be better for it because it would fit the new system quite well, or would it just affect me in a way that like it's just too much of a hassle to deal with? So pretty much right now, most of those items that I talked about for the Oblivion mod now work. It's just I got to make sure that all the meshes and textures work. I had a few problems I think earlier today in which that some of the items were bugged or glitched, but I found out that a lot of it was just because like the meshes and textures that I was working on weren't properly re-implemented. So like the whole male and female thing. So like I didn't properly re-implement them. I think the meshes, like some of them, the meshes were there, but the textures were not to properly map them. So I was able to properly do that. But for everything else, though, like I'm just trying to make sure that everything works. Right now, I know they all work for a female character because that's what I've been testing on. But I got to check to see if everything works for a male character now. So I'm going to be using my Oblivion modded playthrough character for that. So hooray. So yeah. So again, those are the kind of things that I've been working on in my own mind. I've been trying to get everything to work perfectly fine, and then by that logic, I've been breaking my own mind with it. So hopefully by the end of this weekend, both the Organics will be done, and so will my Oblivion mod, or at the very least, my Oblivion mod will be tested and ready to go. So the only thing that is left is just to script out the items back in because they don't have scripts anymore. I will script the items back in order to work like they should from the originals. So yeah, so I'll see you guys next time for some more Sercacraft.